Under 5 laps remaining in the International Motorsports Hall of Fame 250 from Talladega Superspeedway. It's the 4th event of the year for the ARCA Racing Series, and it's the 50th time that they have raced at Talladega. Let's go back to pit road and Ray Dunlap.
Well, listening in to Brandon McReynolds in that Turner Chevrolet, he's saying he thinks the restart may be where they can do this the best. They have communicated with Matt Lofton, and they are going to try to make this pass before they even get to turns 1 and 2.
Remember, they can push on the straightaway. They can't push once they get to turn 1.
The other thing that they can do is they can pass to the outside. And it seems like the first instinct by everybody running up front is to just kind of snake their way down to the bottom. If they can get together before the restart and the 32 of Brandon McReynolds can push Matt Lofton, I think that they could probably clear him. Now, if Chad pulls up in front of him, that creates a whole nother set of circumstances, but definitely will be interesting to see how they play this restart.
I think it'll be easier for them to pass him on the restart here than it will be once they get up to speed running with everybody running 190 plus miles an hour.
But it's a huge gamble as well, and we saw it out of Frank Kimmel earlier when Frank moved to the outside. Looked like he was going to be able to get a position, but got hung up.
He had nobody pushing him.
Right.
Though. That's the key. As Justin said, if they could get together from the time, just about the time they're ready to drop the green flag and start pushing, then they have a shot at it. But remember, they can't pull on the line until they get to the start-finish line.
Correct, and they're going to have to go through the gears together and hooked up, and that's the only saving grace they're going to have.
And then after all of that happens, they've got to separate when they get to turn 1 because you can't push through the turns.
Relatively speaking, yes.
A difficult situation for every driver in the field. We're about to find out what's going to happen. 4 laps of racing to go. Chad Hockenbraugh in front. Green flag back in the air. What's going to happen with Lofton and McReynolds behind him?
They're separated. They're not together. Looked like Brandon was not able to keep up with a 16.
They all fall in line and they hug the yellow line at the bottom of the racetrack.
Chad may have too big of a lead. Look at the run. Look at the momentum they have. They're going to the high side.
Let's see if Lofton's able to keep it going. He's got help behind him. Here comes McReynolds. Down the backstretch they go. 3 cars making the move, seeing if they can go by Hockenbraugh.
Remember, it's so important for those guys on the outside. You see Brandon McReynolds has them cleared. That's when Matt Lofton was able to pull down to the inside.
Chad Hockenbraugh drops back to 3rd, and the car on the outside, Sean Corr, is going to drop back a lot if no one comes out to help. Now, out in front, Lofton once again has McReynolds behind him. What will they do with 3 laps of late racing to go when they come through the tri-oval?
I think they're going to wait to the last lap. Brandon McReynolds will wait to the last lap to make his move. They want to settle amongst the 2 of them. They worked together to get the lead in 2nd. Now they're going to wait till the end so they can hopefully stay 1st and 2nd.
Yeah, this is a tough situation because obviously Matt's in the driver's seat being in the front. But if he leaves any gap at all, the 32 is going to try and play to his weaknesses. The other thing is, you know, Chad's gotten passed now already by somebody hooking up and pushing each other by him. So maybe he hooks up with the 52 of Tom Hessert, or maybe it's the 32 of Brandon McReynolds and tries pushing those guys to the lead. So it's going to be an interesting 3 laps here.
Through 3 and 4. When they come back through the tri-oval, it'll be just 2 laps of racing to go. Just over 5 miles remain. The International Motorsports Hall of Fame 250, right on the yellow line, the double yellow line. Matt Lofton once again. Brandon McReynolds running in the 2nd spot. As they come across the stripe, 2 laps of racing to go.
Remember, we still have a couple Kimmels running together back there. Will and Frank running 6th and 7th.
Single file line through 1 and 2. The pack working their way out of 2 and onto the backstretch. It is go time. Who's going to go? We saw a Venturini car. Looked like they were going to peek outside. They ducked back in. Again, the 68 and 44. Those are family members. Will Kimmel just in front of Frank Kimmel.
You know, Matt's leaving Brandon just enough room to be able to get to him. The problem is Brandon's going to need the help of the guys behind him. They don't seem to be quite close enough for him to be able to get that run to be able to pull up to his outside.
We got 2 cars working together. Chris Buescher in the 17 on the outside, trying to make that outside line run. There's Larry McReynolds on the outside. This time by 1 to go. The white flag will go in the air. Can Lofton hang on, or will McReynolds make the move to get into victory lane for the first time?
I don't think the guys on the outside were able to get together enough to really make anything happen.
Now Lofton runs off that yellow line, making that car as wide as he can through 1 and 2. Down the backstretch they go. Where will the move be made? Will it be coming out of turn number 4? We're about to find out. Will they get a run? Chad Hockenbraugh runs in the 3rd spot. Tom Hessert in 4th. Steve Blackburn back in 5th.
It almost looks like nobody's close enough to anybody to be much help. Now it looks like Hockenbraugh is going to pull up on the back of Brandon McReynolds.
Hockenbraugh gives the 32 a shove. Coming out of turn number 4. Will it be enough? As they come out of 4, trying to get to the outside. Lofton trying to make the car as wide as he can. McReynolds makes the pass as they go through the triangle. Can he hang on until they get to the stripe? McReynolds will win at Talladega.
With a lot of help from Chad Hockenbraugh.
Brandon McReynolds with the shove from Chad Hockenbraugh, and look at that emotion coming from his father and mother. The hugs on top of the pit box.
That's pretty amazing right there. To be able to get the help from the 58 and to drive up there, that's pretty awesome.
They passed the 58. The 32 and the 16 work together to get by the 58, and the 58 then helps the 32 to get his first ever win in the ARCA Racing Series.
Well, I think it was a situation where Chad Hockenbraugh said, I can't win it from 3rd. If I can help him get by him, then maybe I'll have a shot at it when we get down towards the line. But Matt Lofton did a good job blocking his advance. The 32 got by, but you see him make a little contact with Chad Hockenbraugh right there.
You know, it's amazing. Brandon played it perfectly. I mean, to do all of that, it was perfect.
Watch Larry Mack. This is while he was watching this live.
A very happy father. Let's hear from him, right?
I'm standing here with Larry McReynolds, and I'm just wondering, about 20 years ago when Brandon was in victory lane right here with Davey Allison, did you ever dream that you'd be standing here today in this same spot?
I really didn't, Ray, and you know, just that kid amazes me. He had a plan, and he started making that plan with 20 laps to go, and he knew exactly where he wanted to be coming off turn 4. Evidently, he gets that from his godfather, Davey Allison. That's the only thing I can figure out, and we got to get something on those quarter panels. Thank the good Lord, the man that rolled down there is safe. That was more important than anything, but I couldn't be prouder, and so many thanks to Steve and Sandra Turner for giving him this opportunity.
I didn't hear you on the radio. How hard was it to stay off?
You know what, Mark Rett, these guys, they got it handled. It's nice just to be dad.
Big celebration. Larry will be back in victory lane here at Talladega, where he's been lots of times before.
And Ray, as you mentioned, 20 years ago yesterday, Davey Allison won here at Talladega with Larry McReynolds as the crew chief. And Brandon McReynolds was there in victory lane. And remember, Brandon Reynolds, only 21 years old. He was 1 year old.
Great
when
plan.
He was in victory lane.
They had a gap right there behind Lofton, so him and Chad Hockenbraugh got together. They had the momentum, and it just propelled them right by him.
Well, I think one of the things that Brandon did perfectly is he drug the brake, and he almost forced Chad to push him at first. Once Chad started pushing, he knew he was going to have to push him all the way to checkered flag. Chad did a great job pushing him all the way up there. Matt did everything he could do, just victim of circumstances. And anybody that knows Brandon, they're going to be happy for him because he's a great kid, well-deserving. And to get your first win at Talladega, that's got to be huge. I mean, this is a cool place to win, but to get that first win here is really awesome.
You know, it's amazing. They run nose to tail for so many laps here. And then at the end of the race, it comes down to this, and we have a pass coming off the tri-oval.
Margin of victory, just under 0.2 of a second separating that 32. What a great push he had. And then the battle for second between Lofton and Hockenbraugh, that separation, 5/1000ths of a second. Look how close that finish was.
You know, one of the things that Larry said was, thanks to Steve and Sandra Turner, and you know, you see Turner Motorsports on the hood of that car, the 32 on it, which is the Wintron Racing number.
Right.
You know, obviously Kevin Sawinski's been around this sport for a long time. He actually helps us at our shop at Turner Motorsports. But to have that 32 on there, you know, the first 2 times that they've almost won and haven't won, they've been number 4. They changed numbers and got it into victory lane. So maybe Brandon's going to be a fan of the 32 for a lot more here moving forward.
You know what I really loved about Larry's interview there? His son just won, and you see how emotional he is. His son just won a huge race in the ARCA Racing Series, a big notch in his belt for his career. And he made the comment, I'm just glad to know that the driver of the 83, Mike Afrano, was okay. And by the way, he's been checked out in the infield care center and released. How about Darrell Waltrip down there celebrating with the family?
There's Mark Rett, crew chief in the black shirt there.
Old DW is going to enjoy this trip to victory lane, I am sure.